Hello lovers, welcome to the Butterfly Effect podcast hosted by myself, Lauren Amy. This is for those who are ready to take up space, who are living a soft life loudly and are ready to savor the sweetness in each moment. Here we're going to embrace transformation, the beauty of the in-between and the magic of becoming. So pull up a seat and listen in because life is delicious and it's about goddamn time we eat it up. Hello. Happy Wellness Wednesday. Welcome back to the Butterfly Effect podcast. How are we all doing? We've just had a gorgeous bank holiday weekend, but I'm not going to lie, I'm feeling somewhat confuddled. I think it's because I've not had a maintenance day. I'm recording this on a Tuesday and everything feels a bit backwards and feels a bit like rushed, or I don't know, my routine has just been scuppered and I'm trying not to freak out about it. So I don't know, maybe you guys are also feeling the same. As much as we love a bank holiday, I do feel like it just really upsets my routine. But a good routine or a healthy routine is an adaptable routine, right? We adapt, we overcome, we thrive. I don't know why I'm being so dramatic about bank holiday weekend, but I just like my routine, okay? And again, I like my maintenance days, so I'm going to make sure I squeeze one in at some point this week because those days are goddamn necessary. But anyway, Wednesday has rolled around thick and fast, so how are we all doing? I hope you all had a lovely Easter, a lovely bank holiday weekend. I spent mine with my family, which was gorgeous. Easter in my family's household is basically like a second Christmas where we just go all in. I have never, well, I say I have never, it happens every year, but I have not ate that much in a long time. Literally, I arrived home on the Friday and there was all this talk about all these desserts, and I'm not gonna lie, I thought there'd just be like one dessert. I don't know why I suddenly forgot what my family is like, but there was dessert after dessert after dessert. My mum at one point literally brought out a chocolate cake and I squealed with delight. I'm not even kidding. I squealed. I was like literally like a kid at Christmas. Happy days. And I know I'm no longer the youngest in the family. I have 4 nieces and nephews now. It's far too many if you ask me. But I'm not the youngest of the family, but I was acting like the youngest in the family. I was like, oh yeah, give me that cake. Let me load up this plate right here. I'm going all in. And I think I have genuinely filled myself up so much that I don't think I'm going to need to eat for about a week. And that is when you know you have done a bank holiday weekend with the family right. We had a barbecue Saturday, roast dinner on Sunday, chocolate cake, Easter egg hunts, strawberry flan. We even had Christmas pudding at one point. What else do we have? I feel like I'm missing something. Cupcakes. Goodness, it was all there. It was a great time. I had a fabulous time. But now, yes, routine has gone out of the window. But that is okay. We're going to slowly bring ourselves back to center. Okay. But with this episode, we're going to do something a little bit different today. I have brought on my first guest. This was quite spontaneous. This thought popped into my head some point last week and I voice noted my brother basically saying, if you think this is a bad idea, just tell me to go away. And usually my brother would very quickly say, go away. But my brother was like, okay, no, this sounds cool. And basically, I thought it'd be a cool idea to invite my eldest niece onto the podcast and be my first ever guest. And of course, she was very excited about it. And I'll let Freya introduce herself a little bit later on. But my reason for doing this, I kind of had this idea because there was a trend going around on Instagram a while back. And it was all these poems of saying, I met my younger self for coffee. And the original poem was by, I think her name's Jenna Cecilia. I'm actually going to quickly double check that I've got her name right because I will be mortified if I have got it wrong. Yes, Jenna Cecilia. Yes, so she is the original author of I Met My Younger Self for Coffee. And this poem just blew up on social media, and it was trending on Instagram, it was trending on TikTok, it was trending everywhere, and so many people were creating their own versions. I myself created my own version, and what I loved about it is that it was just amazing. It was amazing journal exercise almost. And I think lots of people were writing these poems without realizing that they were essentially doing a journal exercise. And it really allowed people to take a moment to just have a conversation with their younger self and imagine what their younger self would say to them as they are now, what their younger self would think of them, how their life has unfolded, the many surprises, the many challenges that you as a now adult have perhaps overcome. And it's a real beautiful way to look back and again, see how far you've come, see the things that you have accomplished and see the challenges that you have overcome and all the memories you've perhaps made along the way. And I loved it. Every time a new poem popped up on my feed, I would always listen. I'd always give it space. And yeah, I just thought it was a wonderful movement to witness on Instagram. And I think it's very rare that social media has these moments, but I think this is what social media is all about. It's encouraging people to stop and think in a real healthy, nourishing way. So yeah, and that's another reason why I wanted to really make sure I credited Jenna, because the poem went viral. People were kind of jumping on the bandwagon a little bit, which is absolutely fine, but it meant that she wasn't being credited. And I know for me, if I was the author of a poem that went viral, and my name wasn't attached to it, I would definitely feel a bit like, oh, but that's my work, like that was my idea. And she's also got a new poetry book. I think it's called Deep in My Feels. So if you're a fan of poetry, do check her out. And I believe the poem I Met My Younger Self for Coffee features in that poetry book, Deep in My Feels. So yeah, go check it out. So the reason I just went down on that tangent was because I thought, what a wonderful idea to kind of have that conversation with my younger self, kind of, not literally, but kind of, by having a conversation with my eldest niece, Freya. And I'm so proud of her for this conversation because she probably had no idea what was going on. Although actually, no, to be fair, to give her credit, she probably knew more of what was going on than even I did. But I didn't plan this at all. I didn't plan any questions. I just thought, let's see what she comes up with. Let's ask her a few questions, see if she's got any questions for me, and just see what naturally comes up. And I didn't want to lead her too much. I just wanted to bring out that natural kind of childlike innocence, tenacity, creativity, and just literally just let her run with it. And the beautiful thing is that there are some real pearls of wisdom in this episode, I believe. I've listened to it a few times. It's actually taken me quite a bit of time to edit because if you work with kids, you know it's tricky in places. And there are moments where she perhaps speaks a little bit quieter. So I've tried to bring the volume up a little bit. And then there were moments where she was literally screaming into the mic. So I've had to try and bring that down a little bit. So I apologize if the volume levels are a little bit squiffy. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. It's a very different one, but I hope you enjoy listening to these little pearls of wisdom that Freya has to offer. She speaks very openly and honestly about a particular experience that she is going through right now, and I don't want to leave any spoilers. But I do think there is something to be gained from what Freya has to say today. So enjoy this conversation. And if it spurs you to perhaps have that little conversation with your younger self, if you are yet to create your own version of that poem, feel free, go ahead and do it. Write it in your journal. Last week's episode was all about journaling. So again, if you're wondering what to journal about, this is perhaps another prompt that you could do. But yeah, enjoy listening to this conversation. I hope it leaves you with some food for thought, maybe. And with that, I'll shut up with this little intro and let's get to it, shall we? Hello. I've got my little guest here with me. Freya, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Freya and I'm here to help today.
Yeah, that's cute. Well done, honey. Do you want to tell them how old you are?
I am 7 years old and I have a big dream.
You have a big dream? Do you want to tell them about your dream?
Well, so if you watch Gladiators, it's a series of people where you have to get battles and then all the bits that and you have to pass through like the heats, the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, and then whoever wins the final is the winner of Gladiators. And I really want to be a gladiator. But first, it's contender time.
So have you been watching the Gladiator, the TV show? Is this where this has come from?
You bet you.
What would your gladiator name be?
Imagination.
Imagination. Do you go like up against people and you have like those big batons almost and you have to like knock people over? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Is that the sound you'd make when you're playing? Show me your gladiator face.
I'm kidding.
That's very, very scary of you. Wow. Okay. Beautiful. All right. So you just introduced yourself. You said you are 7 and your dream is to win Gladiator.
And be a gladiator.
And be a gladiator. That's a very impressive dream, Freya. Also, you say you're 7, but you're not going to be 7 for too much longer.
No, it's only like a few more weeks and then it's my birthday and I'm going to be 8 years old.
And what are you going to do for your birthday?
My birthday takes the whole of May because we're going to Centre Parks.
Yeah.
We're going to Centre Parks. I'm having a sleepover, my craft party. I can't remember what the 4th one was, but there was definitely 4.
Wow.
Anyway.
You know what? That's great energy, Freya, because when it was my birthday, do you know when my birthday is? What? Do you know when it is?
No.
You don't know when my birthday is? Freya Rose.
But I can say my birthday and then I can say my birthday in French.
Go on then.
Met de neuf.
Met de neuf.
Met de neuf.
Well, when it was my birthday in November, I had a whole month celebrating as well. I went to Milan. I went to a spa with a friend. I went to another spa with another friend. I went out for lots of lovely dinners. I went out for a meal with the whole family. You came along, didn't you? Do you remember that? When we had that meal in that strange pub and Daddy was really ill. Do you remember?
Not personally.
It clearly was. It wasn't that much of a memory for you. That's okay. Yeah. But I also had a whole month celebrating my birthday. So actually, I love the fact that you are also going to have a whole birthday. So, Freya, my reasoning for inviting you on this podcast is that I'd love to get a young person's opinion on life. So, when you think about your older self, I know you've just said that you want to be a gladiator, but what do you want to do when you're older? What do you want to be when you're older?
Well, I want to be an engineer.
An engineer. That's very cool. About family. Do you imagine yourself being surrounded by family?
Not surrounded.
Not surrounded? Okay. Who's with you then? Is your sister still with you? Do you hang out much?
No, I hang out with my best friend. I've got 2 BFFs though.
Okay. So do you think you'll be like a cute little girl gang? Yeah, growing up together? Nice. Is that important to you, keeping your friendships? Yeah, amazing. What were you saying earlier about you being such a drama queen? You were being such a drama queen. And also, I think it's very important that the listeners know what you were wearing yesterday and also what your hair is like now. Do you want to say what you were wearing yesterday?
Well, I was wearing a butterfly dress and I've got my own hair tuck and I've got a pink one and it's the same colour.
Yeah. So Freya yesterday was wearing this beautiful butterfly dress and you've also put some pink in your hair to match your Auntie Lauren, haven't you? Is that because you wanted to be like your Auntie Lauren?
Yeah.
Is that because I'm so cool?
Sort of.
Sort of. You're meant to just say yes.
Today I've got purple even though it looks a bit pinkish.
You've got a bit of green in there as well. You've gone for a full
Green
rainbow. It's like your own little unicorn. Have you got any questions for me, Freya? You get to ask me anything. You get to ask me about life, work, anything.
Is there anything in the world you would possibly want to do that you don't do now?
Is there anything in the world that I would want to do that I don't do now? I would like to travel a little bit more. I would like to see the world a bit more because we live on a pretty big planet, don't we? And you've been learning lots of geography, haven't you? You've been learning...
Geography?
What did I say? Geography? Geography?
Geography.
Should we rename it Geography? I have a question for you, Freya. What do you like the most about yourself? What do you love the most about yourself?
My big brain.
Your big brain? Yeah, because you're clever, aren't you?
Probably what I'm called imagination.
Nice. What else do you like about yourself?
Talk.
Yeah, that you can talk, yeah. And actually that's beautiful because you've got this gorgeous voice, haven't you? And it's important to use our voice. You can use that voice to sing, but you can use your voice to talk to others, to offer advice. What advice would you give a friend if they were struggling with, I don't know, maybe they needed a bit of reassurance, maybe? What would you say to them?
Everything's okay.
Yeah?
There's nothing to be afraid of or something like that.
Yeah, nothing to be afraid of. That's beautiful. Because we all have things that we're a bit afraid of sometimes, don't we? Yeah? What do you think you're afraid of?
I do have a phobia.
Yeah? Do you want to talk about your phobia?
Well, I have a metaphobia.
A metaphobia. And what is a metaphobia?
It's like a really big fear of getting sick.
Yeah? Where's that fear come from, do you think?
I'm not actually very sure. I think I was just born with it, but maybe not when I was a baby, but when I was like maybe 5 and up to now, I've had it.
Yeah, okay. And when you notice this fear, when you notice this phobia, what do you notice happening in your brain and in your body?
Well, my brain starts to like think about it, and then it like just affects like things in my body.
Yeah.
At the minute, it's affecting my bedtimes, which the bedtimes affect my day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how is it affecting your bedtimes?
Well, it's making me like jump out of bed and like run to mommy and daddy's room. Before I even get to bed, sometimes it just goes like, it's just like suddenly like pops up from nowhere, and I was like, time to get out of bed. And I'm like, whee! And then I'm running to the door.
Yeah, okay. Do you then get perhaps a bit frustrated and a bit angry?
Well, I do not like emetophobia, so yeah, probably.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So what do you think is the thing that bothers you the most about it? Do you think it's because it stops you from sleeping?
Oh, yeah.
What can we do that helps us get to sleep, maybe?
Well, sometimes I read a book. Well, actually, most of the time. All the time I read a book.
Yeah, because you love reading, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah? And what are we reading at the moment? What's your favourite story at the moment?
My favourite story series.
Story series, okay.
So, if you don't know, there's a Unicorn Academy series on TV.
Yeah, I think I've read you some of the Unicorn Academy.
And they have like dorms in them, and like they have unicorns, and you bond with the unicorns when you get like a streak of your hair the same colour as your unicorn's mane and tail, and then the powers could be anything. So the ones I've had so far are light, fire, water, flying, ice.
Wow. That's a lot of power. If you had a power, what would your power be? Perhaps it's a reminder that you're brave and you're stronger than that fear.
Maybe.
Yeah? Perhaps feeling strong, feeling powerful over your own thoughts. Yeah? And being able to change our thoughts. Because whilst our brain gets quite busy, and whilst there's lots of thoughts that come to the forefront of our mind and allow us to feel this fear, one power that you have, which is probably like the greatest power of them all, is you have the power to change your thoughts. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah? And you work with a journal, don't you, darling?
Yep.
Yeah? What kind of things do you write in your journal?
Well, it's like a journal that like helps me along the way, and I like write like what I'm good at and about my day in it, and like near the end you have like little like Daddy said there might be some like little journals, and wasn't so sure. He's got a journal though.
Who's got a journal?
Daddy.
Yeah, he does have a journal, doesn't he? Yeah. Daddy showed me his journal last night, which is very cool. Auntie Lauren's got a journal as well. Do you enjoy your journal?
Yeah.
Do you find it helps?
Little bit.
Does it help change those thoughts?
Little bit.
Little bit, yeah. And you know what they say? The more you do it, the more it helps, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you do it every night?
Yeah, I do a different page every night.
Different page every night. Okay, beautiful. And you've been talking about your gladiator name, imagination. So how can we use our imagination? How can we use that beautiful brain of ours to perhaps change these thoughts, maybe?
Well, we can. So I've got like a workbook, and grey tinted glasses are the exact same as grey tinted thoughts because they have like a gloomy picture of the world.
Yeah.
And like gloomy thoughts and.
Yeah.
But we can change them to orange tinted glasses, which are good, helpful glasses.
Yeah.
And orange thoughts.
Yeah. So when you wake up and you have that thought that you need to get out of bed and see mummy and daddy, can you imagine that you're literally changing your glasses? Even if you act out, even if you take off one pair of glasses, put those grey ones down and pick up those orange ones. Have you tried that?
No, but sometimes I've been as brave as I can, like say, this ain't gonna happen because this has not happened.
Yeah, and that's very good of you because you are brave, aren't you? Yeah, you're brave. And you said earlier, I asked you a question. What's your favourite part about yourself? What did you say?
I said my brain and my voice.
Your brain and your voice, yeah? What is it about your brain that you like the most?
Well, I like that I can like write poems and stories and make up songs.
Yeah. And what do you like about your voice?
I can sing.
Beautiful. And you get to make a lot of noise, that's for sure. Well, it's good to use our voice though, isn't it?
I can sing.
How else can we use our voice? We can use our voice to speak up for others, can't we?
Yes, that's a good point.
Yeah, we can use our voice to speak up for ourselves, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? So how can we speak up for others? How can we speak up for ourselves?
I have spoke up for myself before.
Yeah?
So
What happened there?
So we had chocolate cake, and he said to Grandma, "This is really good cake in the icing." And I said, "I think it was the chocolate cake," but I said, "I helped make the icing as well." And I kind of like stood up for myself there, and Daddy said, "Well done for standing up for yourself."
Yeah, no, well done, because you also helped to make that cake, didn't you? Yeah, so you wanted your efforts to be celebrated too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Well done on you, kid. Did you have a question for me at all?
If you wanted to be anything in the whole wide world, what would it be?
Oh, that's a very tricky question, Freya. If I could be anything in the world, what would I be? If I'm very honest with you, Freya, if I could be anything in the world, I would just be myself. Yeah? Because I like being myself. There's lots of lovely things I like about myself. And I think as long as I'm 100% completely myself, I am happy. Yeah? Does that make sense? What about you? If you could be anything in the world, what would you be?
A gladiator.
A gladiator. You've had a great day because it's Easter Sunday and you just had a cracking Easter egg hunt, didn't you?
Oh.
Yeah? Did you find any eggs?
I found 6 eggs and 1 net.
1 net. Wow.
But guess what?
What?
One of my cousins called Jacob found the golden egg, and we're gonna smash it up after tea, and everyone's gonna get a piece.
Yeah, because it's good to share, isn't it? Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you had a good weekend?
Yes.
What's your favourite part of the weekend been?
Everything.
All right, so you've got an audience here, Freya. You've got people listening on this podcast.
Right now?
Not right now, but people will listen. What's one thing you'd like to say to all the people that are listening?
Hope you enjoy all these videos.
It's not a video, it's audios.
Whatever they are.
You hope they enjoy them. And what is it that you hope for them to gain from this podcast?
Well, learning things, obviously.
Learning things, and you've shared some things about your emetophobia, haven't you? Yeah, so maybe there's someone else that has a similar fear, and maybe they hear you being so brave and talking about it. That's going to encourage them to be brave too. And actually, Freya, what advice would you offer to someone else who struggles with emetophobia? What would you say to them?
Being sick is unpleasant, but we can cope for a bit.
Yeah? That was beautiful. You said being sick isn't pleasant, but we can go through it. Is that what you said? Yeah? Oh, no, that was really, really nice. No, well done, well done. Should we wrap this up now, Freya? What are we going to do later?
We're going to eat
what we having?
A strawberry flan.
Well, what we got before that?
Roast dinner.
Yeah. Do we love Grandma's roast dinners?
And my mum's.
And your mum's. All right. Final few words, Freya. What?
Have a nice day. Come back soon for more.
Are you going to be a guest again? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Do I have to invite you back on the podcast?
Yes, you do.
All right. And actually, Freya, this podcast goes out on a Wednesday, and what I like to always say is wish everyone a happy Wellness Wednesday. Do you want to wish everyone a happy Wellness Wednesday?
Happy Wellness Wednesday. Woohoo!
Beautiful. All right. We'll leave it there. Happy Wellness Wednesday, loves. Thank you so much for listening to me and my little niece, Freya. I think she did very well. Do you think you did well?
Sort of.
Sort of.
By the way, one last word. Goodbye.
Goodbye. All right, there you have it, loves. Thank you so much for listening. I really hope you did indeed enjoy that conversation from Freya, and maybe there were some sentences, some key phrases that Freya came out with that actually landed for you today, and I hope there were. One particular moment that I loved when she came out with this analogy, I suppose, those grey tinted glasses and how they represent these grey thoughts, but we can take off those glasses and put on orange tinted glasses. And I love how it's orange tinted and not rose tinted glasses, because every time I've had rose tinted glasses on, it's usually to do with a boy and it's usually not gone very well. So yes, let's make it orange tinted glasses, everyone. And I hope that stays with you throughout the rest of your Wellness Wednesday. So again, thank you so much for listening. Just before I finish up here, I keep forgetting to ask people to please rate and review, like and subscribe. I've got a little target of how many followers I'd like this podcast to reach on Spotify. So if you aren't yet following the podcast, please make sure you are. And if you have not yet left me a little review, again, please do. We're currently on 15 5-star reviews, which for me and just this solo podcast, I am so pleased, so happy about. So thank you so much. And then finally, as always, you can go ahead and join me on Patreon. I've got another little target of how many subscribers I'm trying to reach on Patreon. I'm really enjoying having these little targets, as I feel like it's helping me to manifest these little goals. So yes, if you fancy some online yoga, some little love notes, some little musings, then yes, head over to my Patreon, where I release a new practice weekly. And I'm also hopefully going to be creating or releasing a beginner's bundle very, very soon. All right. Have a gorgeous rest of your Wellness Wednesday, loves. That's enough advertising from me. But to go seize the day, take those orange tinted glasses with you, and go have a little chat with your younger self. All right, loves. See you soon. Take care. Mwah.